The first question we have here is, what does the dream Democratic candidate look like to both of us realistically?
Man, I can tell you it does not
Bound to
look
reality.
like, it does not look like anything that we got right here, right now.
No.
Oh my goodness, looking ahead at this 2028 field, it is crazy. And I'm looking at these candidates, and sometimes you think like maybe I can piecemeal something from these people. I can't. I can't.
No, you really can't, because like right now we got honestly on both sides of the aisle, like obviously I'm not voting for a Republican,
of course,
like, that's obviously off the table, but both of like the contenders right now are just abysmal.
Absolutely.
We got JD Vance and Rubio being like the top two on the Republican side,
evil
and
guys,
obviously again not going to vote for them, but that's even bad like from a Republican point of view. And then on the Democratic side we got what, Kamala Harris and Newsom, the top two.
Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom, Josh Shapiro,
and then
Pete Buttigieg.
The ones waiting in the wings are Pete Buttigieg, Josh Shapiro, Gretchen Whitmer, Alyssa Slotkin. Yeah, no, it's bad right now. So if you bound us to reality, saying realistically, what's the dream Democratic candidate? I can't dream right now.
I can't dream right now.
Only nightmares.
I guess like the closest thing we have is like AOC, but even she comes with her own like shit that's annoying sometimes.
Yeah, I guess like if I can actually be hopeful and a little optimistic,
if I allow myself the space to dream.
The space, yes, precisely. The candidate's got to have a couple of things. First of all, you got to be willing to punish Republicans for all the illegal and awful and immoral shit they've been doing.
Yep.
I'm talking war crimes. I'm talking abuses of citizen tax dollars, or just straight up theft of tax dollars, all the corruption that they're engaging in. Like, they have to be punished, otherwise they're going to do it again. We learned this the hard way with Merrick Garland and the coup of 2020 or January 6th. We didn't do anything about it, so now they're plotting to do it again.
Yeah, somebody that's vicious to the people that are doing like horrible things right now and actively making the world worse and our lives worse. Like no matter what point, like they gotta be Gaza. What happened in Gaza is genocide. Gotta be willing to separate from Israel. Those are huge ones. Gotta be anti-corruption, no corporate PAC money, things like that would be great. And those are like, maybe it's not necessarily realistic for a presidential election, but those I feel like are the most like realistic, what like Democratic strategists would call litmus tests that I would engage in.
Yeah, and you got to have a searing hatred for the rich.
Oh, and you can't be throwing trans people under the bus and minorities under the bus.
Yeah, because like,
let me think of all the things that Gavin Newsom did. Let's do the opposite of that, and I think we have our answer.
Yeah, if you reverse engineer Gavin Newsom, then pick the opposite.
Yep.
Then you'll get the dream candidate. But yeah, man, like this country has a very strange history of not punishing literally anyone.
Yeah.
Like, we looked past it when it came to Richard Nixon. We wanted to move on. Obviously, Henry Kissinger got to live a long and happy life to the age of 100 or whenever he died.
There were conversations about pardoning Trump.
Yeah.
At the end of Joe Biden's term.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
Well, I mean, like George Bush lied relentlessly about weapons of mass destruction, lied about Saddam Hussein's relation to 9/11, ended up killing thousands and thousands of people in Iraq specifically because of those lies. And we never did anything about it. I mean, George Bush is like happy painting pictures or whatever he does nowadays.
Yeah, he paints pictures of like veterans or like some shit and like PTSD stuff. And it's like, you gave them that.
And I would submit that it's not a mistake that we keep making the same errors over and over when we haven't punished anyone in the past for making those mistakes to begin with.
Yes.
So if we really want to move past that in this country, we have to be willing to punish the people who are getting lots of people killed right now. And that does look like jailing a lot of the people who are openly committing crimes every day in the Trump administration. That's like the biggest thing for me, I think. Like, even beyond, like, obviously I want them to have good economic policy. I want them to have good social policies and argue for social progress. And I think that sort of comes along with a lot of the things we're asking for anyways, but the top thing's got to be, we are going to lock up the people who are killing people in the streets of American cities, who are Pete Hegseth fucking killing fishermen in the Caribbean, and every other crime in between. They all got to be punished for it, otherwise we're fucked for good.
Because like guys like Pete Hegseth, one, can't get away with like actual like harmful things like killing fishermen, doing the war in Iran, but like they also can't get away with going on a press conference and saying the Strait of Hormuz is open if it wasn't for Iran shooting the boats.
Dude, come on.
Like, we got to put a stop to that. Like, that we can't have politics where people like that are in power. It's just, it can't happen.
Yeah, and then it's, of course, obviously, like, the foreign policy is a big one for us because it often is an indicator for a lot of other stuff, right? If you can't call Gaza a genocide, if you can't call our support of Israel complicity in genocide, then I don't really trust you on a whole lot of other issues. But the deeper thing there, to me, is just a willingness to oppose moneyed and organized interests.
Because that's what it is.
Because that's what, right, that's what it is. Like, Israel has so much influence because of defense contractors in the United States that make a lot of money, the Israel lobby that has a lot of money behind it, specifically not even from Jewish people, but just evangelical Christians that are sort of that make up a big portion of the Zionist base. And of course, all of our other issues are traceable to money and politics and the influence of wealth.
Especially if you're like a Democrat, right? So many of the big AIPAC donors are just Republican billionaires.
Yeah.
We're just allowing Republican billionaires to pick who gets to win Democratic primaries all over the place. So you either get a Republican or Republican, and we wonder why when it comes to the general and we're looking down a Republican and a Republican.
Yeah.
I think we know.
Yeah, and specifically when it comes to 2028 or even like 2026 when we're talking about like statewide candidates, I do think positions taken in the past should be considered when we're talking about who gets to be the candidate, right?
Yeah.
Because if a guy like Gavin Newsom only just switched up and started calling Gaza or Israel an apartheid state, I would the situation hasn't changed, right? That's not new.
Yeah.
Israel's been an apartheid state for a while. So what made you come to that conclusion only now? And it's political expediency. Yeah. He thinks that's what's going to be popular in 2028. So if people took bad positions like as soon as 3-4 years ago, I'm not going to trust them either because they just look like a chronic flip-flopper. Shout out Kamala Harris.
And guys like Gavin Newsom, like you had your chance. Like you've been in politics for a while. It's time to like
young man in a hurry.
It's time for a new guard. young man in a hurry. Younger men in heavier hurries.
Yeah, younger or anybody. Younger anybody.
Anybody else. Anybody else.
Welcome back to Head in the Office, everybody. Today is our Q&A episode.
It is, and it's gonna be a good one. This one, it's gonna be a mix of random stuff.
Yep,
mix of politics, a mix of everything else that exists in between.
Yeah, and hopefully us taking the time to do some sort of pre-prepared content doesn't bite us in the ass, given the fact that we are at war currently.
Yeah.
And anything could happen between now and the time this comes out and the time we're back to record a full news episode.
Who knows? Maybe the fact that we're doing pre-prepared content is like an accelerationist thing. Like it means that they're really going to nail us during this longer news cycle. I don't know. I can't predict it.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's one question I can't answer today.
It's true. We'll see what the universe has prepared for us. But the way this is going to go is we put up the opportunity to ask questions on our Patreon and on our Discord. We'll focus on the Patreon questions first, and then a little bit later on, we'll throw in some Discord questions as well. And we will we'll get to the bottom of what this whole thing is all about.
Exactly.
So,
guys, this is what Head in the Office is.
That's right. You want to take one from Patreon?
I'll take this first one from Patreon, all the way from Eric. You fuck with American football. Yes.
Yeah.
I do. What can I say?
I'm a big fucker with American football.
I'm a big fucker. What can I say?
This next one from Gage. With the onslaught of news, will you commit to being publicly quirked up more often with 3 episodes a week? Can't yet. Can't do that yet.
Somebody like soft launched that for us in a review like 2 weeks back, and it looks like you all took it and just ran with it.
Yeah. People are and I think it doesn't help that we gave it some light by talking about it publicly on the show.
This is true.
Maybe one day we can get to that point, but I think if we ever actually did that, it'd more be like a bonus episode on Patreon every once in a while.
That's
a third bonus episode on Patreon.
That might be what it has to be, definitely.
Gigi also asks, with all the extra time, could you do a review of Unfettered by John Fetterman, a Democrat senator from Pennsylvania? Not sure if y'all have heard of him.
You know, I think I might need to do some research. I think I might need to look into him. It seems like when he was running, he had some good ideas. I wonder what he's up to now.
Look, man, I want to shit on John Fetterman as much as the next guy. But I
can't read Unfettered.
I can't read Unfettered. One, because part of the reason for us reading these books is to make fun of the people who write them and make fun of their contents, right? You look back at our 107 Days review or Kamala Harris's independent review. Karine Jean-Pierre's independent book review. And in the future book reviews we're going to do, we like to make fun of these people and the contents of the book. But when John Fetterman's just writing over and over, I want to kill myself.
Yeah, no, I can't.
What am I supposed to say?
I can't do it, man. There's no commentary that I can give.
I'm going to get depression by proxy.
Exactly.
I simply cannot do that.
No, yeah. So Unfettered, hard no. 3 episodes a week, maybe sometime in the future.
Yeah.
Maybe. This one from Walter Vander Vogelweide. I would be interested in your opinions about the writings of Daniel de Leon and Rosa Luxemburg, and of course, the best ever medieval knight and minstrel, Walter Vander Vogelweide.
Rosa Luxemburg's the GOAT, man.
That's a socialism or barbarism, right?
Yeah. Well, and she was a communist in pre-Nazi Germany.
Guys, I can't lie. I'm ignorant of these. I'm ignorant of this
Not
writing.
a theory head, this guy.
Not a theory head.
Next one from Chris the Postman. Political question. Personally, I have noticed more normal conservatives say they are not happy with Trump and his administration and say they are going to vote Dem in the next election. Do y'all think there is any line that will get the MAGA crowd to do the same, or are they completely lost at this point?
Man, there's that polling that's going around that says like 85% of MAGA is behind the Iran war.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it was just Republicans.
Just Republicans.
Of Republicans. Like
really?
Self-identified Republicans.
Damn, I've seen people report it as like
yeah.
MAGA, so I was assuming that like maybe they separated like regular moderate Republicans from MAGA Republicans, but like if we're operating off that assumption, no.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like if you're the kind of guy that is willing to follow Trump into this war just cause, like you are the kind of person that believes anything that he says. Like these are the people who are like, the tariffs are going to make everything cheaper, mass deportations are going to be good for people, whatever we do in Iran is fine. They're clearly willing to follow any justification that Trump can give because they're so polarized against like what they think are regular politicians that they just have to accept Trump because they still think he's this outside figure, or they're just brains broken like John Fetterman.
Yeah, but like the thing is that on most issues since Trump came into sort of political limelight 10 years ago, the Republican Party has been mostly behind him almost every time, like 80, 90%, except for maybe the Epstein files, right? That might be the one thing where the Republican base said, hey, I think Trump fucked this up. But even then, I bet it was like 50% support. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think there was any like super serious fissure in the base for the Republican Party. But I really did think, and maybe I gave them more credit than I should have, I really did think that another Middle East war would be another one of those things that they were like, okay, I think Trump's going too far. But it seems like that's not the case.
Yeah, no, because that's kind of like the line for me. That's kind of the line for me on whether or not like these people are reasonable. Yeah. And I just don't think if you're willing to follow Trump into Iran that you're reasonable. Like I'm seeing more and more people start to warm up to the idea of boots on the ground, and it's just like, please God, no.
Well, but like, and it was like a main issue in the 2024 election. People were saying if Kamala Harris gets elected, she's going to do a draft.
Yeah,
like that was the joke, and now Trump won't rule out the draft.
That's what JD Vance was doing. JD Vance was running on Kamala Harris is going to send your sons to another forever war in the Middle East, and look where we are.
Yeah, there were all those memes about it, man. Like I would think that if Trump explicitly rejects the one thing he said he was not going to do, or if he specifically does the one of the few things he said he wasn't going to do, that would lead to the Republican Party being like, hey, I don't fuck with this guy. But like, I don't think it's about policy. It's just about him.
No, it's absolutely just about him and following him and his cult of personality. This next part of the question from Chris the Postman, personal. The show has taken quite a journey over these years. Do you guys feel like you've made a tangible impact in the country?
Almost certainly not.
Boy, I wish. I certainly do wish.
The one time I think we might have made an impact on like politics, mainstream politics, is when our video making fun of Joe Biden's debate performance got 4.5 million views.
Yeah, and then he dropped out like a couple weeks later, right?
Yeah, I do think, and that's not to say that like we're the reason he dropped out, right? Because there was tons of people talking about it, but I do think that video might have made it to staffers.
Because like when you get 4 million views on a video, like some White House staffers have got to see it, or like some congressional staffers, or like somebody who can talk to somebody who can talk to somebody must have seen it, and they must have, right?
Especially when it's like young dudes that are doing that, and it's not just like your typical MSNBC host. Like it's just people that are engaged in politics of their own accord with audience that are just listening of their own accord. It's not mainstream news. I gotta think that a Biden staffer saw that.
Exactly. I had the JJK shirt on.
Yeah, like exactly.
It had mass appeal.
Exactly. This next one from Jagger Stutzman. Have you guys considered dropping videos here on Patreon too? I've been curious why Patreon is audio only when Spotify I'm able to watch my quirked up white boys chop it up. We'll probably, I think we said this in a recent episode, but we'll probably do a goal pretty soon for Patreon to do video episodes.
Yeah, but before you had to like do a Vimeo thing, and Patreon didn't like host video, but we're working on it in the background and trying to get there. But it does take so much more work to get the video up instantly to post on Patreon for the early episode.
Especially because now we got the 3-cam setup.
Yeah.
And we do 4K for the wide shot. Just so you know, if we do, and we'll probably like put this to a poll or just like let you guys know once we actually get closer to doing it. But if we do video on Patreon rather than just the audio, it will take a couple extra hours to put it up on Patreon. So the episodes won't come as soon as they do on the days that we drop the early access, because video just takes longer to edit, longer to process and stuff like that. So that is a trade-off you guys have to consider.
Will the trade-off be worth it?
Will the trade-off be worth it?
That's the question I have for you.
Yeah.
If I'm to flip this Q&A back on the audience, that's the question that I have. This next one from Ryan. How did you two meet, and were you always interested in political happenings, or is there something that, quote unquote, radicalized you? We met, like, what was it, freshman
year,
world history class. Like,
Yep.
Easy fucking money right there. Freshman year world history. Friends ever since. As for like being interested in political happenings, I've talked about this before. I guess more so in the first like half of this show's lifetime, but I wasn't really until like the lead up until the 2020 election. That's really what kind of, or the COVID is what radicalized me. COVID and Black Lives Matter and watching what was going on. I was kind of like, wow, I should start paying attention to this stuff because everything is happening around me. There was a massive wealth transfer. Cops are just being evil. Still, and they
changed.
Still are today. And
we didn't defund the police.
We did not defund the police. In many cases, we just funded the police a little less than what they wanted to originally.
Or funded them more.
As a reaction. And then Democrats said that I'm the reason they lose elections now. But that was what really got me into politics. And then I fell into the Hasanabi to podcaster pipeline. And look where I am today.
Indoctrination. Yeah, the next question from Evan is sort of similar. Like, what started you on your radical leftist journey? For me, it was, of course, growing up during COVID. I guess not like growing up, but like sort of coming to age, coming to like political consciousness during COVID. Black Lives Matter. Thousands of people dying of COVID, completely preventable deaths. Seeing that wealth transfer, and then it's also just learning. Like and I think we have somewhere else in here like a question about what's your Roman Empire. For me, it really is like U.S. interventions around the world.
Yeah,
like there is no way to understand the impact of the United States on the world if you are not willing to look at the amount of death and destruction and mayhem we have caused purposefully by replacing governments with governments more compliant to us, often explicitly right-wing or just fascist governments in like Latin America. Like we have done coups on democratically elected governments. We have stolen resources from other countries. We've done coups just because banana companies asked us to.
Yeah.
For no fucking reason. And that's the kind of thing that's radicalized. That's the kind of thing that I think really motivated the radicalization of myself. Because like when you have an entire global system designed to extract profit and one country at the head of ensuring that there are no barriers to the extraction of profit, you naturally become an enemy of that empire. Because like, Jesus Christ, man, so much evil has come out of it.
And it's just like more broadly, just like how like evil rich guys are.
Yeah.
That's that. If I've got a Roman Empire, it's like that. Because everywhere I look, it's like, it's like every rich guy I see, except for the recent
I'm going to take your job. I'm going to take your job.
I'm going to take your job. I'm going to take your job. I'm going to fucking kill you. What was it? Sam Altman recently had a clip that go viral where he's like, in the future, I foresee that intelligence is like a utility, like water or gas, and that you have to pay for it. Brother, that's in my head. What do you mean?
I think the guy who runs Gemini AI just said like, we need access to private data sets.
What?
Yeah. He was like, we got all the public information, but we need the private data sets.
Oh my God. These people suck. Like all of these people suck. Peter Thiel's talking about Greta Thunberg being the Antichrist, shit like that. They all have these like super weird ideologies and think they're the center of everything and think that this like we let disruptor culture go too far. Yep. We looked at tech and we started looking at all these people who like came up with one fucking idea and got $1 trillion and we called them disruptors, and now we're really letting them like disrupt the global order, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and we just let like and I know it's like all things are subsumed by capital, right? It's I can't remember what Gramsci called it, but like it's cultural hegemony, right? Yeah, I think that actually might have been the phrase that he used. Like all culture gets subsumed by capital and used for the purposes of capital, but we really do just allow popular culture to be captured by elites. Like instantly too. Like Elon Musk gets to pretend that he's just the everyman.
He got to pretend he was fucking Iron Man for like years.
Well,
like
he was in the movie.
He was real life Tony Stark. Elon Musk. That's what people would call him. He smoked a blunt on Joe Rogan, and then everybody loved him. Yes. Like what are we doing, man? It's crazy, and it's like I'm sure this is how it is for like just culture genuinely when times pass. But like I look back at like that era. When was that? That was like pandemic era, wasn't it? And it's just like, man, what the fuck were we doing?
Well, he was in Iron Man 2.
Yeah, he was in Iron Man 2, wasn't he? Yeah.
Like we just, and like I know it's like movie execs and studios with all this money. Like it all works together as a part of one system. But Jesus Christ, man. Also on the imperialism piece, like obviously as a leftist, I have a moral critique of imperialism, right? Killing people and undermining sovereignty and taking their resources away. All of that is bad on a moral level to me. But it's also just a bad idea. Yeah. Like it just doesn't work. Like we look at Iran. I think Iran's the perfect example of this. We do a coup in Iran because they're trying to nationalize oil in the 1950s. And then 26 years after that, like entirely predictably, there's what I would call a right-wing sort of blowback against that regime and the installation of the current regime who we've been battling it out with for 40-something years.
Yeah.
Like imperialism not just bad because it's morally wrong, but it's also it doesn't work. Like, it's not a good idea. And it doesn't advance the interests of anybody.
Exactly. Like you can't just like install a government somewhere. Like people aren't just going to accept somebody saying, all right, this is the person that's going to lead you now. You have no choice. Like that never works. It doesn't work. Historically, we've watched it fail every single time. And yet here we are again, not overlearning the lessons of history. It's insane.
Especially when you're a country like Iran that has been around for thousands of years in some form of another, right? And then you see essentially a new country in the United States, like 200 years old at the time, come in and tell you, yeah, you're going to be run by this guy now. I know you elected someone and he was very popular and he was doing what Iranians wanted, but this guy's running your shit now. Like, when that happens, you're going to be like, nah, fuck this guy.
Exactly.
Like, obviously.
Exactly, because you have no choice. Your agency's just been completely stripped of you, and now you're just like an agent of the West, or like now you're at the whims of someone who lives that literally thousands of miles away. It's insane.
And it's not even just that. Like, after the Islamic Revolution, and, at the time, the original Ayatollah was making promises to, the right-wing elements of the country that wanted the theocracy to come into power. He was making promises to the leftists and the communists who wanted more investment in public works and stuff. And then there's the Iran-Iraq War, which was incredibly devastating for the country of Iran. And we funded Saddam Hussein during that war. And after that, the Iranian regime was like, all right, we got to take these bitches seriously because they are a threat to our very way of life. And then, of course, we shot down an airliner with a bunch of civilians for no fucking reason. So, I mean, there's so many things that we have done as a part of U.S. imperialism. And if you actually look at the history and understand the U.S.'s role in the world, you can't help but become a radicalized leftist. That's my conclusion, ultimately.
A big conclusion. This next one from a scribe or writer, this one is basically just what are our thoughts on the California governor's race. Swalwell seems like one of our Democrats. Porter seems all right, but doesn't seem to handle pushback well based off the Senate race. Steyer is a billionaire. Yeah, that's Dude, an indictment. And I have seen some stuff about Tony Thurmond, and that I like, but he hasn't supported the billionaire tax, unlike the billionaire.
Dude.
This isn't to mention the potential R versus R post primary. Would love some insight. I haven't stayed too tapped into the California primary, but what I have seen was that bit where Katie Porter is just like mean to the interviewer.
Dude, she's funny as hell, dude.
And then recently, she said no income tax for people who make less than 100K, and that is just peak slopulism. Dude, like that shit sucks so bad.
Cory Booker's been doing that too.
Are you serious?
Cory Booker introduced a bill to cut income taxes if you make below $75,000 a year.
I'm gonna cut your taxes. I'm gonna cut your taxes. It is just a race to the bottom. Like, I'm sorry. Like I am like pro tax. Like you have to have in order to have a government where we come together and pool resources and make things better for the collective. You have to have a system of taxation.
Yeah.
And it has to just be there. That system of taxation should be fair. We shouldn't be constantly focused on just cutting. We should take revenue from the people who make the most, billionaires, blah, blah, blah.
It should be progressive,
It should be a progressive system. This idea, and it's always awkward coming out and being yes, you should be taxed. But
we got a country to run.
But guys, hear me out though. We have a country to run, and these politicians are just doing it because it's popular, because nobody likes paying their taxes. I paid my taxes, and I every time I look at it, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of money that I have to pay. That's a lot of money leaving my bank account, going to the government to kill people in Iran. But if you just constantly run on no tax, you're racing to the bottom. Then you're going to have no revenue to do anything that you actually want. And the only tax revenue that gets collected is just going to go to another coup in Iran.
Yeah, no, the fundamental thing is we have a country to run. Do we want roads or not?
Yes. Yes.
We do it's a foundational component of the social contract is that we all pay into a collective pool of resources that we all benefit from. And obviously those that have more should pay more because they benefit more from society's resources than everybody else because they're fucking rich.
Yeah.
It is really that simple. But it's just I think it's just antisocial too.
It is, yeah.
And it's kind of weird because I feel like most people, especially those making less than whatever the fucking benchmark is for these Democrats, a lot of people don't pay taxes at the end of the year anyway.
Yes.
They get returns in some form, especially if they're broke already.
Yeah.
So what are we doing?
Yeah.
It's just you got to be taxed.
I'm sorry. It's mostly what pisses me off about this idea is it's the idea behind it. It is just the slopulism of it all. Because I am very pro tax reform. I'm very pro looking at the tax code and seeing where we can do things and adjusting things, maybe easing the burden on the middle and lower class and upping the burden way much on the higher classes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm pro. But when you're just going out there and saying no tax because you think it's going to get your votes, I talk about this every once in a while.
It's so annoying, dude. dude.
I was in my student council in 4th grade, right? Just complete slop. Anytime you're running for like something like that when you're like a child, it's all just slop elections. And I tried to run for re-election in 5th grade, right? And I got up there, and when I'm pleading to my class why they should vote for me, I said, guys, I literally can't do anything to fix school lunch, like, but I guess I can like advocate for you. And my opponent said, I'm gonna fix school lunch, and they won. Like it's all fucking slop. Like that's what it is. It's slop.
And it's such an American thing too. Like I think a lot more people would be cool with paying their taxes if they felt the government did literally anything for them.
Yes.
And I'm talking specifically like working class people. Like obviously rich people benefit greatly from all of the things the government does for them. But like your average working class person just doesn't feel like the government is working for them because of how expensive everything is, because of how everything that they need for life and a happy life is behind a paywall, and because they work such like insane hours and such alienating conditions that like if we had a country where your tax money felt like it was being used appropriately and not just to kill random brown people in the Middle East, then I think people would be a lot happier with paying, 10%, 12%, 15% of their income towards the government.
But when it comes to the California race, I'm not really too tapped in beyond that. Like I just see things and they piss me off. And I saw was it the billionaire that was on Hassan's stream? Or was it the other guy?
Steyer? I don't know if I saw Steyer on, Prance? He's one of our mutuals on Instagram.
Yeah.
He did like some short form stuff with Tom Steyer. I didn't know this, but apparently Steyer, he's saying he's a class trader. He's doing the Shaikai Chakrabarti thing. Shout out to that interview. But he made his money in for-profit prisons.
Oh my God.
Like, back it up, dude. Back it up. His explanation is like, "Oh, that was so long ago, I didn't know any better." Like, brother,
no, that's never like for-profit prisons have never been like a cool thing. In fact, the fact that it was so long ago makes me think worse of you because conditions were worse.
Yeah,
like prisons have not like historically gotten worse over time. Like I think they've gotten like a little bit better, albeit all horrible still. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Yeah, and like 25 years ago, that was like what, peak mass incarceration?
Yeah. I actually made my money on the war on drugs.
Yeah.
Like, what? Come on.
And like he says it was wrong now, or he didn't know better and he should have, like it was a massive mistake. But like, yeah, you pulled out of that industry making hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, you just retired.
Yeah, like you can't, like, okay, I guess it's a good development that more people are doing the left populism thing, but it's sort of inexcusable when you were a for-profit prison guy.
Yeah, like some people, like I do believe in change. Like I do believe people can change. They can change their politics even when they were involved with that. But it's just like optically.
Doesn't mean we got to elect them.
Exactly. Like optically, like you don't need to run for office. Like why don't you just use your money to support other people who are running for office, man?
But for the other side of California, Swalwell to me is just like an infinite cornball. I can't fuck with him. I don't know if he says anything good or not. I feel like he's more of like a sort of like a liberal, like not like a moderate Dem, but more of like a liberal, not left Dem. You know what I mean?
Is he in the House right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I know who we're talking about.
He's
now.
the guy
he kind of blows.
Who allegedly slept with a Chinese spy, which is kind of cool.
That's funny. No, that's hilarious.
That's kind of like a point in his favor for me. And then Katie Porter just seems insane.
Yeah, no, she does. She was so cool
man.
when she was in like the House. Like I feel like I only saw good things from her, like in 2020, 2022, and like shit like that until she lost her election. And like she was very progressive. Like she was doing all this.
I think she still is. She's just a bad person.
Yeah, she might just be horrible to work with.
Which
is
possible,
good
right?
Ideas,
like it's
other
possible
than the tax thing.
It's possible to have good politics and just be a bad person. But maybe her politics are waiting too if she's doing the fucking sloppyism, no tax stuff.
This is true.
Jesus Christ, man. This next, we got a couple of questions about which one is Jeremy, which one is Gage. I'm just going to ignore those, to be honest with you.
Exactly. Like Sugar Free Baja Blast said, why can't people figure out that Jeremy is Jeremy and Gage is Gage? I hope one day we can collectively get it right. Also, is a worker strike political violence in your view? No.
Yeah, no. How could that be political violence? And even if it was, just kidding. I condemn political violence.
I feel like that is technically violence toward the oppressor/owning class. Do you condemn that kind of violence? No, because I reject the notion that it is violence because that's bad optics to say.
Yeah. It's like a strike is violence. Withholding labor is violence.
It is just fundamentally different than the political violence that we're talking about. Don't be killing people.
Yeah, don't be killing people.
Don't be killing people.
That's the number one hit mantra, aside from good things are good, bad things are bad. Don't be killing people.
Yes, sir. And I condemn political violence.
Yeah. Outside of your jobs, how do you relax? What are some hobbies or creative pursuits that you enjoy? This one's from Just Some Kid on Patreon.
Just Some Kid. I collect action figures.
So
hell
true.
yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell. That's my thing. That's what I do. I work and I do that.
How have the tariffs impacted that?
Dude, it pisses me off. Like,
I knew this would get you.
I paid like oh my God, dude, I got fucked on a tariff bill. And it's like when they first started happening, like, it's just like nobody really knew what was going on. I get a lot of shit. Like, I import a lot of stuff from Japan. That's what I do. First off, the yen was in the shitter for so long. So I was enjoying just rich discounts.
I love it when other countries suffer.
I mean, like, it's true. Like, I was enjoying rich discounts based on the strength of the US dollar compared to the Japanese yen. The exchange rate was phenomenal. It was so goated. I was importing everything. They come out in Japan like a month before they come out in the US. So I was getting things, I was importing them. Even with the like $20 I would pay for shipping, it still came out cheaper than what I have to pay if I bought it domestically. It was awesome. It was the golden age. But now, so when tariffs first hit, they completely just like Ami said, no more shipping to the United States. And so I was thankful to like not have any orders pending with Ami or any pre-orders, but I know a lot of people that did, and their orders were just held for like 6 months.
Dude.
Like, just not shipping. Just we'll wait to update you on it. And now they're doing this FedEx DDP bullshit. And they like, I don't know if they got wise, like whatever was going on, but not only I'm getting charged for tariffs like when I do the shipping based on tariff rates. I'm also getting charged carrier fees now. It's kind of like the DTE bullshit that they just passed that credit card processing onto you. And now they just upped shipping costs like dramatically.
Damn.
I know.
That's like a 50% increase to everything.
Exactly. Dude, it's horrible. Like, it's pricing me out. It's ridiculous.
This didn't happen under Biden's economy.
And this didn't happen under Biden. They're taking my trinkets away.
I got like I don't know if it was I ordered something for the studio or something else. I had ordered something. It came from abroad, and I got it. It like showed up, and then FedEx was like, "You got to pay this tariff bill."
Yep. No, that's happened. Yep.
And I was just like, I already got it.
What are you gonna do?
You're trying to charge me like a $25 tariff bill. Like,
you can't unship it. It's in my apartment.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Send it back? Get it?
You should have held it. Held it for ransom. Take this tariff bill.
Absolutely. And I know a lot of guys that were just getting packages, and then months later they're just hit $100, and it's like, oh.
But like, what's FedEx gonna do?
That's a good question.
I guess ban you. I guess if it piles up, yeah, they might just refuse to give it to you, or they'll hold it for ransom or whatever.
This is true.
But anyways, to answer the question, I've been reading a lot more.
That's good.
I'm currently on book 5 of the Red Rising series, and the second trilogy, man, gets real fucking serious and long too.
And long?
The books start like the first book I think is like 200 pages or something like that, and this book's like 700.
Damn.
And I'm a fairly slow reader. Like, it takes me a while to get through stuff. But before that, I read The Strength of the Few, the second in James Islington's Hierarchy series. That was pretty good. I do want to get back into reading nonfiction, but the world sucks so much right now that it feels hard to.
It is hard
read a long form nonfiction thing. Yeah,
no, that's
exactly.
incredibly valid.
So yeah, that's what I've been up to, other than podcasting.
Podcasting number 1. This next one from K-Boob. I found that the more and more I talk to more like-minded individuals, that there is frequently a perpetual state of doomerism among younger people. I'm curious as to how my fellow quirked up white boys contend with this kind of mindset. I personally found that contributing to Hito's Buy a House and Cash Fund helped me a lot, as did remembering that good things are good and bad things are bad. When it comes to combating like doomerism and cynicism, one, I feel like sometimes I feel like I do get on here and I am very doomerish. I am very cynical, especially when it comes to Democrats and stuff. But
Hard
it's
to
just
not
like
be nowadays.
I can't not crack a few jokes.
Yeah,
I can't not do it. That's just who I am.
No, man, dooming is especially easy nowadays. Like, especially when we're getting closer to like full scale war in the Middle East, not just in Iran, but like in more places.
Yeah,
right. Like, the conflict continues to escalate, and things are looking worse and worse. But this is something we've said several times, and of course, it's not something that we came up with. But history never ends, right? Like, things will always continue to happen. The interplay of material forces will continue, and people will continue to advocate for themselves. And as we continue to move forward, I think the best way to combat doomerism is just by doing things, right? Yeah. Like, obviously, listen to Hito. I'm never going to say don't listen to Hito.
Exactly.
You should always listen to Hito.
You got to stay informed.
And we do our best to not make it like sad and dreary as much as we can. But outside of that, like, join local community organizations or organize with your friends, or even just outside of politics, take time to do other shit, right? Like, I'm always aware of the fact that I am a white guy who makes a decent amount of money in the Imperial Corps, who is not impacted by really any of the decisions we make abroad.
Yeah.
And I know that's the case for a lot of the people listening as well. Even if you're part of some marginalized group, we're all incredibly privileged to not be living in a country that's actively being bombed by the West. So keep that in mind. Things aren't as bad as they could be for you. And then find other things that make you happy that you can go out and do.
Exactly. Another thing I've been doing, Pistons games.
Huge.
I got into basketball this year. Bangs. That shit actually fucks crazy style. That's a nice way to just turn my brain off and not look look at the news.
That's how I felt about the Lions, but they kind of made me doom worse.
Oh no, yeah. Honestly, maybe the Lions season implosion is what really put me on this like cynic cycle. Maybe that's when my Democrats started cropping up.
I cannot tell for the life of me what the fuck the Lions are doing with these trades.
No, yeah, this free agency has been interesting. We basically just traded corners with the Bucks. I don't even know what's going on with that one. I don't know enough ball to be able to dissect what's going on here, but I'm scared.
Yeah. Also,
scared.
just last thing I'll recommend for dooming, and this is something that I've fallen victim to as well, get off the phone.
Oh, yeah,
like, I get sucked into my phone, TikTok feed, especially because like I'm checking comments on our posts and stuff like that. It's very easy to get sucked in, and then like 3 hours pass. Put down the phone, put it away, put it in another drawer if you have to, put like a child lock on it to prevent yourself from getting in, and do something else.
No, this is incredibly valid too, because like, and it just like outside of dooming and cynicism, it's just like a mental health thing for me at this point. My job is online, like my job is on TikTok, but I've noticed, like, I know if I start my day with TikTok, like if I sit there and I lie in bed and start like, I go to check our views, check how videos do, and then I go to my own For You page, it's over, dude. It's literally wraps for the day for me.
Yeah.
Like I sit there and I'll scroll for like an hour, and then I feel awful, and then I can't do anything else because I just killed my dopamine for the day. Yeah. And then I got to go to bed and reset.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then I start putting my phone in the other room when it comes to shit. Oh my God.
That's why we're big long form enjoyers.
Exactly.
Big long form enjoyers, man. Yeah. Just put the phone away. Sometimes I find myself thinking like, man, I hate the internet. Then I remember my job's the internet.
Yeah, exactly. And then I remember, maybe I'm contributing to this. I don't know.
We got a question here from Caitlin Jones. 2 questions. The political one first is, do you think there's space for political commentators to criticize without necessarily providing solutions?
Oh boy, do I.
Or is a part of political commentary presenting potential viable fixes? I'm thinking of that one interview you guys did with the Democratic strategist where he was criticizing people for saying we should make lobbying illegal, but what would replace it? I was like, brother, that's not our job to find the right solution, but I feel we're allowed to look at it and say, hey, this sucks bigly. Yeah, big on hey, this sucks bigly. I mean, you guys know that we do that all the time, but also making lobbying illegal, for example, or banning corporate money or whatever, that is a solution.
Yeah, no, it is a solution. Like doing, like if the problem is corporate money and you say, what's the alternative? The alternative is grassroots money. Like that's what we should move towards. I think a lot, like, and I do like we do it all the time. Like I think there is room for criticism without necessarily providing solutions. We like try to say what we think would be the best, but that's kind of like the job that we undertake as society when we recognize that there's a problem is we come together and figure out a way to fix it. And the first step in doing that is like identifying a problem. I am not like qualified to fix every single issue that's wrong with the world. I'm not qualified to write a housing policy that's actually going to go out there and fix affordable housing and what's wrong with the market right now. And there are a lot of things that I like admittedly don't necessarily understand about how we've gotten here or stuff like that. But I do know that what's happening right now is a problem. And I do know that I can use my platform to go out there and raise awareness for it and come together with people who do know more as a collective to solve this thing.
Yeah, and like critique is core to leftism, and it always has been, right? Like in academia and just in like conversations about politics, debates about politics, critique, and when I say critique, I don't just mean like complaining about a certain issue, but being able to look at an issue from an objective viewpoint, analyze what's causing the issue and the material forces at play, and then devise what the issue is, like what's causing everything that's going on. That's like core to leftism and should never be treated as like just mindlessly complaining about a thing.
Yeah.
And that's always valid, I think. But yeah, like you said, like there are people that are smarter than us that are going to devise better solutions. And also when it comes to like an issue like healthcare, for example, we always say we should have a universal healthcare system. And then there's not always inevitably an infinite amount of questions. How do we get there? How do we pay for it? This country's big, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Other countries have figured it out.
Exactly. Like, clearly there's a way to do it.
I feel like I shouldn't have to answer every question about a specific policy to say like, hey, what we're doing now sucks a lot and is getting people killed.
Exactly. Because that's the thing is like people in power specifically, people like, Democratic strategists will look at guys like us who are going out there and critiquing these policies, critiquing the idea of like critiquing the U.S. healthcare system and say, well, why can't we do this? And they'll just like gish gallop you with questions about like these very like niche policy areas. And it's like, you are doing this to try and downplay the idea that this is broken in the first place.
Yeah.
Because I don't have all of the solutions.
Yeah.
And nobody does. That's why we come together to figure it out. And I think it's the job of people in power and people adjacent to power to be the ones that figure it out.
Yeah, and like I do think it bolsters left arguments to like propose solutions, of course.
Oh, for
like,
sure,
hey,
and that's why we do.
Right, like it's always better to propose solutions. But truly, a lot of the issues we face today could just be infinitely better if they did just stop.
Yeah.
Like support for Israel, for example. We could just cut off even just offensive aid, right? Like I have my critiques of defensive aid.
Yeah.
I think defensive weapons are sort of an oxymoron. But like even just offensive aid, I do think saying, hey, don't provide Israel weapons if they're going to do a genocide and attack all of their neighbors. That's a simple solution.
Absolutely.
And all it requires is not doing a thing.
Yeah, and then the world's safer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, who would have thought?
And then the world is a whole lot safer. So yeah, I do think obviously there's room and both are necessary, but I do think criticism or critique is an important thing to do. The other question from Caitlin here, personal question, what's it like being business owners at 24/25?
Oh, let's go.
I just started my own business and I'm about to turn 24. I'll be honest, doesn't feel real.
No, it doesn't. It does not feel real at all. My girlfriend works a real job and she comes home and she talks about it and I'm like, wow, I don't have to deal with it. I got one coworker.
I got a fake job. My job is infinitely fake, and I feel it's so fake to the point where I often feel bad for not wanting to do work sometimes.
No, I feel bad that I get like stressed out or like that. yeah. That I'm like, oh God, there's a lot to do. I feel bad like reading the news, and there's the whole aspect of it. It's like, yeah, sometimes just like the news is depressing and that compounds, but just like, yeah, no, it's definitely like an interesting experience. It's an interesting experience not having like because like I don't have like I'm not on my parents' healthcare either right now, so it's like I had to shop for like my own insurance. That was an interesting experience. That's another like that could have radicalized me in of itself. Having to talk to that motherfucking underwriter for like 2 hours oh my God. I made the mistake when I was trying to get my insurance plan of saying like, I had a sinus infection like 3 months ago. Yeah. And then they put me on hold for 5 minutes. And then they came back and they asked me a trillion questions for like 30 minutes about that one sinus infection. That was nothing. Oh my God, dude. Genuinely baffling experience.
Back from when I had 2 surgeries on my arm. One was when I initially broke it. Then a year later, I had one to take all the like the metal and pins out and stuff. And they're still trying to get me for all I got.
Yeah.
And it's like, what did insurance not? And I am still on my parents' plan. Yeah. Thank fucking God that I can stay on. Thank you, Obama, for that.
Thanks, Obama. Shouts out.
But yeah, no, that's just diabolical.
No, yeah, absolutely. But like just broadly being, it is kind of like scary, like coming up with your own money and not having like a paycheck to rely on, especially doing something like this where it's like we don't have like a steady amount that's coming through all the time. Like we are fighting for your Patreon subscriptions and we are fighting for views on TikTok, and that's how we make a lot of this.
Yeah, half of it's Patreon, half of it's like ad revenue.
Yeah,
on the stuff that we post and put on TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, and all that kind of stuff. So I much appreciate you guys making this possible.
No, yeah, we love you all, and that's why the patrons get preferential treatment.
Yeah,
and they always will.
I do think guys like us doing like the self-employed small business thing is sort of a recession indicator
for sure.
Like things are so bad that this is what we're doing.
Yeah, no, because like I talk about it like when I was working in like the research lab, right? Like I was making like $15 an hour. It sucks. They like administration told me I couldn't get like overtime during the week, even though I was doing like overtime during the week because I had to finish like lab stuff. I had to deal with mice. I had to deal with a whole bunch of bullshit that I did not.
The trucks were too big in the parking structure.
Exactly, to make like oh my God, were the trucks too big in the parking structure to make like relatively like no fucking money. Like oh my God, it blew.
Yeah, no, not great. This next one, I had one pulled up, but I can't see it here. Oh, this one from He's Got His Dick in the Money, George. Oh. Since the current regime in office is consistently compared to Nazis, I was curious if y'all think that the MAGA political rise /action/leaders, and especially co-op of religion, is accurate is an accurate comparison, or if another fascist government in history is a better example. Essentially, are they Nazis or are they something else?
I think they're Nazis. Like I don't think like. Maybe the rise of the third, like I don't know if there actually is like a better like historical analog. There may be somewhere out there in some fascist government. Maybe it's Italy, maybe it's somewhere else, maybe it's something. Maybe MAGA is just wholly unique, but I will always think that just like the Nazi comparison is the most useful because it's the most recognizable.
And they always do Nazi stuff.
Oh like, yeah, always. I mean they put on the armbands or they do the fucking tikis, and then Trump says there were good guys on both sides, and then they go and do Hitler quotes. So what was this? Was it a Senate candidate? Was it Dr. Oz that posed in front of the Hitler car?
In front of the Hitler car, yeah. I mean, you just look at the White House or the government
like
accounts
Miller
on Twitter, like they just quote Hitler like all the time. Yeah, no,
so many things are, and maybe that's like by coincidence. I don't know, but it's just like if it walks like a duck, if it talks like a duck.
Yeah, no, and I think American fascism. I think fascism always looks different because it's so heavily dependent upon the sort of grievances of the time and cultural touchstones in that country specifically, right? Yeah. I can't remember who exactly said it, but the quote was always, when fascism comes to America, it's going to be holding a Bible that's wrapped in a flag, right? And that's the case because fascism is so heavily dependent on grievances that people feel right now that are specifically about the country in which fascism has emerged. Unlike Marxism or socialism and communism, which generally has the same critique everywhere. Yeah. Obviously, it looks different depending on where you are. Like if you're in a country in Africa, you're more focused on the impacts of colonialism and imperialism versus Europe, which is more focused on like industrialization and stuff like that. But broadly, the same tenets of socialism are used by socialists everywhere, whereas fascism is always different wherever it appears. But I think like things feel different, and it's sort of hard to talk about because obviously everything they do and everything they want to do is bad, but they're so incompetent that they often fail at doing even the bad things.
It's dumb guy fascism. Like we do have dumb guy fascism. Like Pete Hegseth going out there and saying the Strait of Hormuz thing. The Strait of Hormuz is open for business, but Iran is throwing rockets in there, making it not open for business. Well, like that's dumb guy shit.
It's like in the same way that the Democratic Party sort of like believes in nothing and can get nothing done and is sort of just pathetic. Like these guys also can't do fascism in the way that they talk about.
It feels like a caricature of like a Nazi.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is just because like some of them inside the government just think the Nazis are cool.
Yeah.
Like they look at like Nazis or fascists in the past and they're like, oh, that's super cool, I'm going to emulate that. But nobody is actually willing to, except for like Stephen Miller types, no one's actually willing to like put their balls on the table and make it happen.
Yeah, but even he's like a sauceless dickhead.
Yeah.
Like even Stephen Miller can't go out there and do it because he doesn't have like the charisma. There's a reason why Stephen Miller is like a special advisor to like Trump and not any other position. It's because he couldn't be. You put him in front of the camera and he looks decrepit. Like he just like, I don't know, his aura is bad. He gives evil, he gives awful, he gives horrible, he gives vile, he gives Nazi. Like it's plain as day. You can't have guys out there doing that. And then the guys who I guess they think do have charisma just write slam poetry about killing people.
Yeah, and of course, like it could be different. It could be the case that like this iteration of fascism inspires a group of fascists that are a lot more serious about making it happen.
Yeah.
Like who knows what's going to happen down the road, right? But like right now, these guys are obviously trying to do the fascist thing, as we've argued many, many times. But they seem very incapable of it because a lot of them are incompetent. A lot of them don't actually believe in the project. And a lot of them are just there for their own ambition, like J.D. Vance.
And I think a lot of why American fascism is so farcical is because most people can plainly tell that these people don't believe in anything.
Yeah.
That these people immediately switch up. Look at what happened with Iran. Most people are calling the government out for switching up, Trump running on no new wars and getting into like huge wars everywhere. Getting into the war and just doing war, the platonic ideal of war, I guess. I don't fucking know. And then like you have guys like Randy Fine, which honestly has kind of flown under the radar when we've talked about, because we've just been talking about like actual updates with the war itself. But like guys like Randy Fine and Laura Loomer and just like Republican Congress people are just doing the most blatant Islamophobia that I think we have ever seen, or that we haven't seen since right after 9/11. And I don't, this is tangentially related. It's not that they don't believe in that, because I do think they do believe in that, but it's just like, it's so over the top that it's hard to take seriously, if that makes sense.
I do think it's a first as tragedy than as farce situation, as a lot of this administration has been, right? Like the first time all of this happened was obviously very bad, but it was a lot more serious.
Yeah, because like as unexcusable as it always has been, right? Like at least there was 9/11. Like at least there was a 9/11 to scare regular Americans into thinking that like something was going to happen. Still abhorrent, still inexcusable. Islamophobia was never okay, no matter the context. But now there was nothing to do that.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening. They can't even do like the shit that fascists are doing in Europe when they talk about like Muslims migrating into the country, because we just don't have that.
Yeah.
Like it's just not a thing. We have people from Latin America migrating in the country, which they try to do that with, but like there's been nothing to make the general public scared of Muslims, scared of Iranians, scared of Persians, scared of Arabs.
There's no inciting incident,
And yet these guys are just going like maximum like balls to the wall. Like I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know how to contend with it, because where does this come from?
Especially important for the Nazis, right? There was like the backdrop of World War I, and the key argument they made, or the key like narrative for them, was that they lost World War I because an element, the Jewish element in the country, betrayed them, and that was the source of like their national embarrassment. That just doesn't exist. Like for us, it's just like shit's too expensive and everyone's frustrated.
Shit's too expensive and somehow it's Iran's fault. And Trump's going to bring down the price of gas by skyrocketing the price of gas to levels of which we've never seen before.
Also, I keep thinking, like, obviously the first iteration of Nazis, a lot of them were like sexually frustrated cornballs, you know what I mean?
Oh, many such cases.
But I do, and that's certainly true today, but I do keep thinking, like, I feel like a lot of the more embarrassing elements of this fascist sort of wing of the country, I feel like Hitler would have killed a lot of those guys. I don't know, man. A lot of them are like
they
embarrassing.
They would have got Crystal Knocked or Night of Long Knives.
Yeah, like Hitler would have been like, "Are you serious? Like
you are undermining the movement right now."
And I feel like that kind of thing just like doesn't really exist.
Yeah, Hitler would have purity tested him. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, because I think they took it more seriously. Like,
absolutely.
Like even with Nick Fuentes, like I'm starting to like Nick Fuentes has essentially. I think he just said like I would vote for Gavin Newsom instead of JD Vance.
Yeah,
like Fuentes just said that.
Fuentes was out here on a podcast with Alex Jones saying that you should just vote for Democrats.
And I'm not saying like Nick Fuentes is a good guy. Like I don't think he has any real principles or anything like that. But I think he just liked being an internet celebrity.
He does.
Like all these guys just want to be famous. None of them actually believe in the program. They just want attention.
And like he can catch a vibe. Like as unfortunate as it is to say that, like it is undeniable that like the vibe in this country was for young men to become Nazis, and he caught that and he wrote it. And now he's catching the vibe that people don't like Republicans. So I'm not saying he's going to become a Democrat. He's obviously going to continue to be a Nazi, continue to proudly say he's a Nazi, but he at least recognizes that Republicans got bad PR right now.
Yeah.
And that he should distance himself from neocons and the Republican establishment. And Tucker Carlson's doing the same thing. I mean, he's selling those hats that say neocons are gay.
Yeah. That is unfortunately a banger.
Unfortunately, a massive banger.
Tucker's another one of those guys who I don't trust whatsoever, but is able to catch the vibe in a way that like maintains his credibility, right? Like he can sense, along with Fuentes, and like Candace Owens as well, that like this iteration or this current regime is sinking and cannot hold up against what it promised to do in the 2024 election. I still think they're all evil and probably believe in nothing and have some amount of like psychological issues or something like that. But at the very least, they know the direction this country is going is not in favor of Trump and the Republican Party.
They're just so Trump is so unpopular. Like Trump like unified the Republican Party only to like eventually like start the balkanization of it. Like the Republican Party is balkanizing where Facebook moms go to Candace Owens, young Nazis go to Nick Fuentes, and then like people in between stick with the Daily Wire. Yeah. And the Daily Wire still tries to defend the administration. Like it's actually crazy what's going on with them.
And as the audience of the Daily Wire shrinks, Ben Shapiro's eyebrows grow.
Yes, they do.
There's an inverse relationship.
This next one from Lucy Cohen. This kind of relates to like doomerism and like whatnot. They say, where does the U.S. go from here? So much seems like it's right on the bank. Whether it be the economy, war, healthcare, housing, climate change, it seems like within the next few years, and almost certainly within our lifetimes for us mid-20s quirked up kids, there's going to be a serious shift in the U.S. and the world from some crazy event. How do you guys deal with the existential thoughts that something is going to majorly break soon?
I think it's two quotes that come to mind. The first one is again Rosa Luxemburg, socialism.
That's where I was going to go with it too.
And it's the Lenin quote of like, there are decades where nothing happens and weeks where decades happen.
Yeah.
There will be. I think politics is mostly defined by opportunity windows, where for a long time there just isn't the opportunity to enact systemic change, and then events happen out in the world far beyond our control, oftentimes that present the opportunity to talk about the world in a different way and even change the world completely. And it is our job as leftists to make the proper arguments and shape public perception when those opportunities present themselves. And I think like climate change, especially when like climate change threatens national security and border security and all this other stuff, because naturally as the climate worsens, immigration patterns are going to change and more people are going to be forced into richer countries that have better climates and temperatures. As this stuff continues to deteriorate, there's going to be a path before us, right? We can either hunker down, engage in ultranationalism, and defend against the scary brown people that have been forced to flee their homes because either we blew them up or they're unlivable now, or we can move towards a world that doesn't do any of that. And the choice really is socialism or barbarism, right? We can either sink into this weird, like overly protective of our border, like even more than we are now, like hyper protective of our borders, scared of immigrants, scared of everything else in the world, or we can move towards a world where the rich can't control all of our politics and we can distribute the bounties of our country and of the world to the people that actually need them. Those are the choices before us, and when the opportunities present themselves, I think those are the kind of arguments we have to make.
Yeah, and I especially when it comes to like doomerism and avoiding existential thoughts in the future, like for me, it's really just pushing it deep down and hoping that like somehow my Democrats can lock in 2026 and 2028. Yeah. Because we do really have this opportunity window where we can get people like Kyle Blomquist, William Lawrence into Congress, Kat Abiguzela, Shaikat. Like we can get these young progressives into Congress and like get people like the soil is fertile for change right now.
Yeah, all it took to break the Republican Party was Trump.
Exactly.
Right? And we can have something like that that's hopefully more principled and less based on like one personality, but it's possible to do. And, I think back to like the New Deal and the Second Bill of Rights that was never, enacted or ever fully embraced by the party. There are opportunities and things for us to call upon that will allow us to push progress forward. And the one thing we have working for us, unlike in the past, is that a lot of our progressive ideas are just strictly popular with the American population. Like in the past, like imagine what abolitionists were dealing with, right? Like during the pre-Civil War era, they were arguing in favor of the abolition of slavery, and there was essentially nobody to help them out. And oftentimes, like when it was women advocating for that stuff or other minority groups, they were just brutalized because they weren't politically emancipated anyway. And so when we think of the position that we're in, I think we have a lot more going for us. Obviously, the challenges are different with mass media and regulatory capture and stuff like that. But I do think we have public opinion on our side already. It's just a matter of getting the Democrats, I think, completely out of the way. Yeah. Or at least this iteration of the Democrats out of the way.
Getting current Democratic leadership out of the way.
And forcefully making the case for the positions that are already popular in the minds of the public.
I do believe that we can get good people into Congress who can make like necessary change, but I do believe that will take time, and I'm latching onto that.
Yeah.
I'm latching onto that so hard right now.
Yeah. Well, and I also think of like with the Civil War, like when that started off, a lot of people on the side of the Union weren't all that geeked about it. It was just sort of like, yeah, they like seceded from the country. We got to get them back, but it's not like slavery's not that big of a deal. But once they actually saw it, they were like, "Oh, we got to kill these people."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I think it's sort of like a similar thing with Gaza. Like a lot of people that weren't paying attention to Gaza were radicalized when they saw images during the starvation campaign of emancipated kids, like kids that hadn't eaten and kids that were starving to death in the Gaza Strip. There are those moments that allow us to grip the consciousness of the public and push it in our direction. And I think we get a lot of those opportunities and will moving forward. And those are the chances we got to take.
Yes.
This next one on Patreon is from Paying Attention. Unfortunately, personally, where did you each grow up, and what was the political climate in your household like? Your household or hometown like? How did that shape your political beliefs before college, and did your field of study change your perspective at all?
Man, what are the political beliefs of our hometown? I genuinely
so
don't know.
Weird,
like
man.
I feel like it's not like quite like suburban Hitler, but like almost.
Yeah, no, there are some suburban Hitlers.
Exactly, like there are many.
It's a weird mix because like we went to school outside of Flint. Like Flint is obviously like the second bigger city in Michigan. Next, like it's comparable to Detroit but a lot smaller. And then we went to high school in a sort of township near that. So there was a lot of people that either came from Flint or around Flint that sort of were constantly aware of like working class politics and the oppression of marginalized groups.
Our school was like a school choice school as well. So like we had a lot of kids
school
from like it was an incredibly diverse high school.
But then because we were in a township adjacent to Flint, suburban Hitlers were there.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was a very weird mix of people.
Incredible dynamics going on over there. Oh my goodness, man. And like the like dynamics in my own like house, it was just like apolitical basically. That's why I didn't get into politics really until 2020. There wasn't much going on, but that leads you to a lot of like, I don't know, like right-wing adjacent like things that are just like acceptable and like kind of like normal. That are just like, oh yeah. And again, you're growing up around suburban Hitlers. Suburban Hitlers.
The next the second part of this question is in a media landscape full of bias and misinformation, what outlets do you typically rely on and what makes them credible to you?
See, this one, I always feel like kind of like a fake progressive or like a fake leftist when I talk about like my media diet, but like it really is like when I'm sitting down to figure out what's going on. First, I like check Reddit for like niche stories like r/politics, r/conservative. Love real ones know I love prowling that subreddit. but when I'm looking for news, I'll go to CNN and AP as like my first gets, and then where that takes me, I'll usually end up on like The Hill. Yeah. And those are kind of like my big three outlets. And then like occasionally I hit Financial Times, Wall Street Journal, New York Times. I do get a lot of stuff from there. But when my sort of idea or like methodology when it comes to engaging with mainstream media, because it does like, I'm more partial to it than a lot of progressives are, but I do recognize that it does suck, is that I go to these places because I want facts that I know are verified.
Yeah.
Because when you're hanging out on a lot of like this isn't to like throw shade at more progressive outlets, but I know that CNN has strict legal standards that they're adhering to.
Yeah.
And I know my own perspective that I had on things. And I engage with CNN on the basis that this is colored in establishment bias.
Okay.
And there are interests behind like what's going on here. So I take that, I read the articles, and I try to extract whatever facts I can get from them.
Yeah, CNN's reporting arm is usually pretty good.
And honestly, I think when you're reading articles from a lot of like the major news sites, it's mostly fine. Like even Fox News has some good, like, I don't want to say they have good reporting on their site, but there are some useful like articles that I've read on the Fox News website that aren't insane right-wing drivel.
Yeah, and it does help when you approach it with axioms that are already like grounded in every belief that you have.
Exactly.
You know, like you can sort of sniff out, like when you're a leftist and you read this stuff, you can sort of sniff out when like they are, you know, writing in passive voice, for example, or they're trying to downplay something that Israel did, like the New York Times often does.
And sometimes we see that and we read those quotes off and we're like, can you believe CNN wrote this?
Right. Yeah. But no, CNN's reporting arm is pretty good. I mean, CNN also
they snuck somebody into Gaza.
I was going to say like a year ago they did some pretty good reporting on Gaza that I thought was pretty unbiased at the very least. But like CNN's commentary arm is just insane.
It is insane.
Like
it is insane.
Jake Tapper demon, fake yapper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fake yapper.
Yeah, but like I'm sort of in the same camp, reading AP News, reading CNN, New York Times, other outlets if I can find them. But beyond that, like the people I'll watch for commentary, I like Zateo's stuff. Mehdi Hassan is just endlessly the GOAT. I love me some Majority Report.
Huge
Sam
Majority
Cedar,
Report fan. Yeah, I love Majority Report.
I've been watching a bit more Kyle Kalinske lately.
Shout out Kyle Kalinske.
That's the guy who's mellowed out since the early times. But yeah, no, I think Mehdi Hassan stuff is just, man, that guy is just endlessly the GOAT.
No, he is. His Twitter is phenomenal too.
Yeah.
I love looking at his stuff. Like he's always just so on point.
Yeah, and I do want to get into, like, we're now in a position where we have like bigger mutuals who are actually doing things out in the real world, and I do want to take time to like read their stuff that they put on Substack or some other like blog app, or like, you know, get into their long form stuff, but I just haven't found the time to do it. But I'm sure they have plenty of good stuff to say.
Exactly. No, absolutely.
That I do want to look at.
Absolutely, 100%. This next one from Dictator Jace is, how does one get in contact with Mr. Buttpea trying to be useful for the revolution? Mr. Buttpea, you're going to have to drop in the comments if you want to be contacted. We don't know. He's kind of an enigma, if you ask me.
Yeah, this is a cue for Captain Buttpea, and we can't give an A.
We can't give an A. The next part of this question, though, is also, Kash Patel added my mom on Facebook. Do you think I can reach him, or is it more likely a fake Kash Patel account? Pistons suck, by the way. Sorry, Gage. Jalen Duren can't even score 5 points against banged up Wizards. DSMH. So two things here. That Kash Patel, if it is real, as a steward of this podcast, you have to try and get him on for us. You have to try and reach out to this account, whether it's fake or not, to get him on the show. I would love to have a conversation with Kash Patel. I need to have a conversation with Kash Patel. However, for the second part of your question, I would not be talking about the Wizards right now. I would not be talking about the Wizards after they let Bam Adebayo drop 83 points on them.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous.
I mean,
dude.
I'm a big fan of playing a wizard in D&D. I do like playing spellcasters, man. What can I say? I'm gonna take this next one from Discord, since we have about like 10 or 15 minutes left, and I do want to get to some of these Discord questions. Jeremy and Gage, what are your Roman empires? I sort of answered with U.S. imperialism and interventions. What's your Roman empire?
Oh God, it is like how evil like dudes are. Like it's how evil wealthy guys are. And if it's the thing that keeps me up at night, if we're talking about like existential crises, like we alluded to earlier, it's probably just like the fact that we die. That sucks. That sucks really bad. And I think that's
more of like a mortal fear.
It is. It really is. I'm incredibly scared of it. Yeah. I'm incredibly scared of it. But it is something that does motivate my politics and motivate like the anti-war stuff, because like for all we know, this is all we got. And so we shouldn't make it worse for people. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. It's sort of how like there's two sides to like YOLO. Like some people say you only live once to do crazy shit.
Yeah.
Other people are like you only live once, so don't do crazy shit.
Yeah. So I'm hiding in my house.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm a recluse.
Yeah.
Somebody asked here, Caden Zobo asked, opinions on League of Legends. Bad.
Never really.
Bad opinions on League of Legends.
A few times.
I tried to get into it like my freshman year of high school with friends that were already better than me. You can guess how that experience went. I've since swore off the game.
Yeah, no, that's real. This next one on Discord from Loosely Lawless. Do you have a quote that resonates with you right now? I'm guessing like given the political climate.
Oh goodness, a quote that resonates with me right now. Honestly, I can't conjure it. I can't conjure anything right now. I'm sure there's something though that I could come back with you with.
Yeah, my favorite quote is predictably from Marx.
Yeah.
It's from, I think, do I have it? Yeah, the 18th Brumaire of Louis Bonaparte. It's right at the beginning. He says something along the lines of, men make their own history, but they don't make it as they please. And essentially goes on to explain how the history that we have is directed by the actions we take, but it's not up to us, the circumstances that are granted to us. And he says something like, the history of all dead generations weighs like a nightmare on the brains of the living. And to me, like it's sort of, it feels sort of doomerish, but to me, it's almost, it brings a bit of peace knowing that like I can't control everything. Nobody can control everything. And a lot of it is set out before us ahead of time. It's not deterministic, right? Like, history isn't pre-planned and we can still make a difference. But the circumstances are what they are, and we just do the best with what we got, and that's going to have to be good enough.
No, that's entirely
And to me,
valid.
I think that applies almost everywhere all the time.
I would have to counter with maximum lethality, not tepid legality. It's really a North Star for me if I think
Violent
about it.
effect.
Not politically correct.
Yes.
It's good. It's good. It's good. That's my favorite poet.
Yeah.
Y'all know exactly who I'm talking about right there.
Valid.
Oh my goodness. This next one, just in general, a couple questions asking about music taste. What kind of music / artists are you guys into?
Oh, man, I'm not that big of a music head, I gotta admit.
Damn, you don't fuck with anything?
Well, I do. I think. What was I listening to recently? I think the Keem album. I didn't like it that much.
Casino.
I like the song Casino on Casino.
Yep,
but I didn't like a lot of it. It felt more like he was trying to do like a serious thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it really. At least it didn't work for me.
I wanted more melodic blue.
Yeah.
Like I wanted more melodic blue. That's what I wanted. Or I wanted like Goofy Kendrick was there, but I wanted like Goofy Kendrick like Range Brothers.
Yeah. Range Brothers was good. Yeah, no, that shit was great. Man, 2021, that was peak.
No, 2021 was peak. Oh my goodness, man. What a time to be alive. For me, I listen to mostly like bullshit.
Yeah, okay.
I listen to mostly like straight bullshit. It's like indie folk. I've been getting into some 90s stuff. I've been listening to a lot of like Portishead and Jeff Buckley. And then like Smino, some alternative hip hop, some underground hip hop, like Griselda, stuff like those kind of guys. That's mostly what's on my rotation right now.
I like the Cole album. I liked most of it. I think some of it was a little whack.
I don't like 2-hour albums.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
valid.
it's everybody was mad at Drake when he dropped Scorpion and dropped an hour-and-a-half album, and it's just kind of like that kind of like kicked off this streaming era where everyone's just cramming too many songs into one thing, and I can't do it, man. I can't.
One of the things I didn't like about the Cole album is that he tried to do an Auntie Diaries thing, and it did not work.
No. Auntie Diaries in of itself already was kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
No.
And Cole just couldn't pull it off.
Yeah.
Are there any left-wing academics you guys are inspired by?
Oh, man.
Can't say Noam Chomsky.
I wish I would.
Probably Parenti, right? Parenti's the one.
I read Black Shirts and Reds last year, and I really liked it. So I think by default, I have to say that.
Yeah.
Noam Finkelstein is always doing great shit. Norm Finkelstein is
he's great.
Always doing something awesome. Every time I see a clip of him, he's so tremendously on point.
Yeah.
Like I fuck with Norm.
Yanis Varoufakis is one of those. He's a Greek man, fellow
Greek. Let's
fellow
go.
Greek. No, he's always pretty great. I think like the contemporaries, like Naomi Klein is great. No relation to Ezra Klein, at least I don't think that wouldn't make much sense to me. Naomi Klein's always very great. Grace Blakely is, I think, a British academic. She's got lots of good stuff that I like. I do want to read her book that she just put out. I can't remember what it's called, but it's about capitalism. So naturally, I'm attracted to that.
Classic.
Yeah, there's all kinds of great people out there, man. Gotta say.
This one from Oathmaker. Will you guys make a separate gaming channel called Pred in the Office? No Jeffo. And will you guys do me a favor and play some Age of Sigmar in the Warhammer fantasy game? You know, if I had a billion hours, I think I would like to do that. I would like to. It would be Pred in the Office because we'd be Apex Predators.
Yeah,
and we would be going crazy on PEX. But man, I'm trying to get out of gold right now.
Yep. Well, PEX is back.
Well, to be fair to us at our skill level, we're trying to get out of gold after like only playing for like 2 times.
Yeah.
Since we hopped on.
It was like a year break.
It was like a year break.
Yeah.
We just started again. We're picking up the game again.
This next one says, this next question is specifically for Gage on Discord. Jeremy, look away, but I'm going to look to read it, of course. And then he says, I lied. This isn't a question. This is affirmations. Gage, don't listen to the haters. Bald is beautiful.
Let's go.
It can be done.
Guys, it's not bald yet. It's not bald yet, guys. It's not bald. I don't know if you're trying to give me. There was a Patreon question here that's like, Gage, when you going to join us and go bald? When the crown goes, once the crown like is like gone and just like at an unacceptable point, I am either going bald or I'm flying to Turkey. Like, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I am not anti-plastic surgery. I am a victim to the beauty standards of my time, and I might have to go there and hang out with Eric Adams, and maybe I could bring him back and get him on the show.
If you do enough work there, you might just get some bribes. Maybe get a government position.
That would be good. Yeah, I could do something horribly corrupt. I could get indicted for it and then pardoned by Trump.
And since Israel is sort of toying with the idea of going to war with Turkey, we're about to have to learn a lot about Turkey and defend it.
No, this is true. This is true. And that's also devastating for guys like me who may go to Turkey.
Well, and it's devastating for guys like Eric Adams. Imagine the position it puts him in.
Oh my God. No, this is true. This is true. Oh my goodness. You're ridiculous. This next one from Aline Sanchez. What are your top 3 movies of all time?
Oh God. Top 3 movies. I feel like anytime anyone asks me like a top 3 anything, I forget everything of that thing I've ever seen or watched.
No, it's so hard to be put on the spot.
I do really like Everything Everywhere All at Once. I thought that movie was pretty great.
Banger.
God, yeah, no, I suddenly forget all the movies. If I kept better track of them on like Letterboxd, I'd have an easier time remembering all.
See,
of them
I just started a Letterboxd like last year, so now I got track and I got a top 4, but you're only getting 3.
Sorry to bother you. I like that one quite a bit.
Oh, that's the horse one. The horse one.
Yeah. Spoiler.
Hey, what can I say? Hey, real ones know. Real ones know. There's no context for that spoiler. It's like those Twitter posts.
No, there really isn't any context for that spoiler.
I don't think you could ever imagine what the actual like scene is if you just hear the horse cock thing. I gotta say for you, it's probably going to be Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the first one. Absolute phenomenal movie right there. Look Back, the one written by the Chainsaw Man author Tasuki Fujimoto, but obviously directed by somebody else. And then either Empire Strikes Back or In the Mood for Love. That's my Letterboxd top
classics,
4. But if I'm diluting it to a top 3.
Yeah, no. How could I forget the fucking Spider-Verse movies? Those are
so
peak,
goated. Oh my god,
those really are.
Yes.
I like the second one quite a bit.
I think part 3 got announced like for next year because we got to wait a trillion hours.
And the lead of that movie is a totally normal guy.
Yes,
it's totally normal.
God,
nothing weird
that's
about
crazy.
him. Nothing weird about him at all. What shows, particularly anime, are you guys watching?
JJK season 3.
I just started.
You did start?
Last
How
night,
far are you?
I got to the Maki episode.
Dude, the Maki episode is actually a banger. The last episode that just played. This is if you regular. We read the manga. It's the Megami fight, the Megami Reggie Star fight, and it's like I thought it was cool in the manga. So much cooler. And dude, season 3 has actually been phenomenal. It's that shit.
When I started episode 1, I thought at first like, are they sleeping on the animation here? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then they got to the first fight, and I was like, Even when they're in the room with Tengen, man, that shit was crazy.
Yes. Was that first fight? Are you talking about Chozo and Naoya or Yuji and Yuta?
Yuji and Yuta, like the opening bit where it's like sort of non-linear.
Yep, and then the blood's raining down.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, that shit is crazy. And I think they did more than was in the manga.
They did.
This
entire season so far, they've been doing more than what was in the manga.
The Chozo fight was cool too, though.
The Chozo fight was cool. I felt like they made Kirara's curse technique like understandable. The stars. The stars outside of the Hikari room, no idea what was going on in the manga. That's the one moment where I am a JJK fan that can't read. many such cases around the community, but that was the one moment where like I don't know what's going on here. But when you put the visuals and the audio and the whatnot, I knew what was going on with that. I'm also a big Chainsaw Man guy. Insane. Other than War with Iran, the fact that the manga might be ending with the next chapter was just the most significant news in my life.
Honestly, more significant than Iran.
Maybe guys. What can I say?
Sometimes when I'm watching JJK or when I was reading it, it's like, how do people come up with this stuff?
No, absolutely.
Because there are many times where I'm like, I just don't get how this guy's powers work.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Like, this doesn't
with
make
Kirara especially.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that a Dem Tea Party is a real phenomenon, and what exactly does it look like? With this, is it a group of like elected representatives that are going out there and like taking over the party? I don't think so.
Oh, I think the Tea Party reference is just like, will components of the electorate rise up and like force change within the party?
I hope
in the way that
it
acted as like a precursor to Trump.
I hope that's what's going on right now without like the Trump part. I do sometimes I do get scared, and I mean you've seen it when we've talked about it on the show recently about like how affordability has already become a nothing word. Like the establishment Democrats are seeing that like they need to be more populist, and then they're doing sloppyism. Like,
they constantly
doing the slop.
The liberal wing of the Democratic Party constantly tries to co-opt the more left progressive wing in what they say, so that they can squash all progress before it happens.
And while I remain hopeful that like progressives can rise up and take over the party, that's kind of what this is all about. Like at least through 2028, I am endlessly scared that moderates will co-opt the language to win and then shut down everything that progressives do.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if there is hope for a Tea Party, this leader like Hakeem Jefferson, Chuck Schumer have to go first. Like leadership has to be remade before anything like that can happen. Like the DNC, Ken Martin, like all of this stuff has to have massive change.
Yeah. And we need to be like people that are interacting and interfacing with Democratic politicians or people running for Congress need to be constantly asking, will you vote for Hakeem Jeffries? Will you vote for Chuck Schumer to lead the Democratic Party in their respective chambers? That's why we ask every candidate that we have on, hey, are you going to vote to support this guy? Because he's part of the reason that everything sucks right now, and he will stand in the way of progress. So if we're to have anything similar to the Tea Party, or just like a grassroots revolt against the Democratic Party, then we got to make sure the people that we're electing actually agree with us. Otherwise, shit will be squashed.
Yes.
And that is not what we want to see. This question from a plant named Sage: will you guys expand outside of political content? I need my weekly doses of Hiddo, but getting to know my parasocial real life friends seems lacking. How does Clementine get the zoomies? Does Jeremy meal prep? Does Gage have killer skincare routine? All questions can be answered via occasional vlog whenever you guys just want to hang out.
This is true. If something like that does happen, it's probably in the context of a Patreon bonus episode. I can't lie.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Maybe we'll do that.
It's either Patreon bonus episode or if we ever like streamed stuff. Yeah. Like I guess like when we since we're in the midterm year, like once we start doing like the Michigan Senate primary debates and stuff like that, that's probably the opportunity to ask those kind of questions.
Yeah, and I'd be totally down for like media breakdowns outside of like politics, like talking about a book that's like actually fun to read, or talking about like movies and shows and anime, like breaking down that kind of stuff. I think would be a good time. But how does Clementine get the zoomies? I'll tell you Clementine's routine. She wakes me up at 7:45 or 8 o'clock. She comes into the bedroom meowing, and then I feed her, and she sleeps from like 9 to like 7. she sleeps throughout the day, and then around her dinner time at 8, she starts meowing at me again, and then she after that she sprints around the house for a while. That's Clementine's
classic routine. Absolutely classic.
Let's see, we got any others to finish off the Q&A here?
I do like this one from Melissa Rice. 15K Patreon goal for 3 episodes a week, question mark.
Oh, I like this one.
I like this one a lot. I like this one a lot.
You know what? I think Melissa Rice just set the goal.
I think Melissa Rice absolutely just set the goal. Melissa Rice, put yourself down in Hiddo history.
So true. All right. Well, then with that one, I think it's a decent one to end off on for this Q&A. I hope you all got all of your questions answered, and if not, a year from now or like 10 months from now, maybe we'll answer your questions again.
Yes, actually I will end off on this one from Donica Lewinsky. A little bit of a silly one. Can we get an honest assessment of Jared Goff and if he's capable of winning a Super Bowl? Yes, next year. Yes.
Yeah, I hope so.
I don't understand the Jared Goff hate. Like, I really don't. Like, he finished like near the top for most like statistical categories this year. I know you can't just like do this. Just you got to watch the games, and it's like although the Lions' offense was struggling for almost like every game we watched, they were somehow like I think the second or third highest scoring offense in 2025.
Is that just because we beat up on bad teams though?
I don't know. Like, but we beat up on the Bears, and they ended up being like a good team.
Yeah, no. Lions' performance last season was just all over the place.
Yeah,
like I
got shit on by 9.
All over the place in like a bad way. Yeah, got shit on by 9. What are we doing
then 9's
here?
back up.
Yeah, and then 9's back up, man. I think Goff, when he has a bad O-line, he just can't do anything.
No, and I am happy to see us
he's not mobile.
signing like O-linemen, but I would have rather had like Tyler Linderbaum, but I know that the Raiders gave him more money than God.
Yeah, well, Raiders doing some fucky shit over there with their trades, and they're like, what is it called? Their salary cap.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, they had infinite cap space.
Yeah,
they had like 99 million going into free agency. That's crazy, and I know that we're massively like handicapped by our cap, but they just restructured Goff's contract, team player.
Yeah, no, I think that's the thing is like Goff relies very much on the other guys to be good as well. He is not like a mobile quarterback in any way. He runs like a refrigerator.
Yep.
I get scared anytime dude takes off because like, he's gonna die if he gets hit.
He's the slowest runner I've ever seen.
Yeah, and he just doesn't run. Like he can't run. But if bro gets like time to sit back in the pocket, he's great.
Chilling.
He's great. Well, there was that one game where he had like no drop passes. It was like 100% completion.
The Seahawks game 2 years ago.
2 years ago. That shit was fabulous.
That game was insane. That's the one where the Kenneth Walker highlight where he got tackled and like did a backflip.
Yeah. Anyways, that brings us to the end of this Q&A episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Just remember, this was first available on Patreon, and we did prioritize those Patreon questions. So if you want early access to all of our stuff and you want to be prioritized in our hearts, become a patron.
Type shit, exactly. And if we didn't answer your question, I answered it in my mind. And if you search your soul, you'll be able to feel the response.
And that's big.
Anyways,
thanks for listening, everyone.